Imagine a mountain of flesh, a colossal being usually hidden beneath the waves. Washing ashore, a giant brought low, a sperm whale, a creature of the deep, now stranded on the land. 60 feet long, a truly impressive specimen. That's longer than a school bus, 40 tons, a weight that dwarfs even the largest land animals. It's hard to fathom the sheer mass of this creature, lifeless on the sand, a stark contrast to its powerful existence in the ocean depths. The ocean song has ended for this giant. Crowds gather, drawn by the spectacle of this fallen giant. They come from far and wide, a mix of curiosity and respect in their eyes. Awestruck and somber, they contemplate the fragility of life and the power of nature. The sheer scale of the whale inspires a sense of wonder and humility. Staring at the immense tail, a powerful propeller that once propelled it through the ocean, the flukes are still and silent, a symbol of the whale's journey's end, and the giant closed eye, a window to a world we can only imagine. What secrets did it hold? What depths did it witness? But beneath the surface, beyond the visible tragedy, something else is happening, something unseen and potentially explosive. This is more than a carcass, more than just a sad end to a magnificent creature. It's a complex ecosystem, a self-contained world undergoing a dramatic transformation. It's a biological time bomb, ticking away, counting down to a spectacular and messy finale. The clock is ticking and the pressure is building. Inside, unseen and unheard, an army of bacteria, trillion strong, is already at work, breaking down the massive structure. These microscopic recyclers are the unsung heroes of decomposition, is already at work, dismantling the whale's tissues at a molecular level. They are consuming and converting, transforming flesh into gas, turning the whale's body, once a symbol of life and power, into a volatile vessel, a container filled with the byproducts of decay, into a ticking pressure cooker, ready to explode with the force of trapped gases. The pressure is mounting, the tension is palpable. The air shifts, subtly at first, then with increasing intensity, from salty sea breeze carrying the scent of the ocean, to something far less pleasant, a warning sign of what's to come, to a sickly sweet stench, a pungent aroma that assaults the senses. It's the smell of decay, the unmistakable odor of decomposition, the first sign of chaos within, the first indication of the explosive potential contained within. The whale is swelling, its skin stretched to its limit. The whale's own enzymes, designed to break down food, now turn against it, accelerating the process of self-destruction, begin to digest it, consuming the blubber and muscle from the inside. It's a gruesome process, but a necessary one in the cycle of life and death. From the inside out, turning solid tissue into a soup of decaying matter. The internal organs liquefy, releasing more fuel for the bacterial feast. While bacteria multiply, their numbers doubling and redoubling with astonishing speed. They are the engine of decomposition, driving the process forward with relentless efficiency, feasting on nutrient-rich tissues, extracting every last bit of energy from the whale's massive body. The blubber, once a source of insulation and energy storage, becomes a prime target for decomposition. This is the start, the beginning of the end for this beached behemoth. The process has begun, and there's no turning back. Of one of nature's most dramatic and unforgettable events. A spectacle of decay, a testament to the power of nature's recycling system. Most bizarre and explosive spectacles, a reminder that even in death, nature can surprise and astound us. The process is real, not a myth or an urban legend. Documented, studied, and filmed by scientists and researchers around the world, and shockingly messy, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. A collision of biology, the complex processes of life and death, chemistry, the reactions that break down organic matter, and physics, the forces that govern the expansion of gases and the rupture of containers. When a whale dies, whether from natural causes or human impact, its systems shut down, the intricate machinery of life grinding to a halt, leaving behind a sealed container, a massive airtight vessel of decaying matter, a potent mixture of organic compounds and multiplying bacteria. Immense size, combined with the relentless process of decay, meets unstoppable putrefaction, creating a perfect storm of biological and chemical forces. And the result is, well, let's just say it's not pretty. Both fascinating and dangerous, a spectacle that demands respect and caution. Before we dive headfirst into the truly gruesome details, into the gory details, the sights, the smells, and the science behind it all. If you love the strange, the unusual, and the downright bizarre and explosive side of science, the moments when nature unleashes its raw power, you're in the right place, because we're about to explore one of the most extreme examples of nature's recycling process. Subscribe for more if you want to see more of the weird and wonderful side of science. Weird wonders of the natural world, because there's always something new and amazing to discover. Now, let's get back to the main event, the star of our show, to our bloated behemoth, our ticking time bomb of flesh and gas, and see what's really happening inside, the processes that are leading to its explosive demise. The quiet tragedy on the beach, the seemingly peaceful scene, is about to get very, very loud and very, very messy. This is the anatomy, the inner workings, the biological and chemical processes of an exploding whale, a phenomenon that is both fascinating and terrifying. Let's open it up, metaphorically speaking of course, and take a look inside. The moment a whale dies, a silent drama begins, unseen by the casual observer. Its body becomes a battleground, a teeming arena of microscopic conflict. For bacteria, it's a feast of unimaginable proportions. Its immune system is gone, the whale's defenses have fallen silent, and now its own enzymes begin to break down tissues, a self-digestion process in a process called autolysis, the body dismantling itself from within. Bacteria, once confined to the gut, held in check by the whale's defenses, now spread, unchecked, multiplying exponentially, consuming everything in their path. The whale transforms into an all-you-can-eat buffet, a bacterial paradise. As they feast and multiply, they produce gases, a byproduct of their ravenous consumption. Methane, hydrogen sulfide, with its pungent odor, carbon dioxide, a cocktail of decomposition. These gases fill the carcass, inflating it with immense pressure. The whale's thick blubber layer, once vital for insulation in the frigid ocean depths, now traps heat and gas, exacerbating the internal pressure. This creates a perfect environment, accelerating decomposition at an alarming rate. The body becomes a giant, sealed pressure cooker, a volatile vessel of decay. It's heating up internally and swelling visibly, with foul-smelling, flammable gas, a dangerous combination. The skin stretches taut, the shape distorts grotesquely, pushed beyond its natural limits, and the internal pressure mounts relentlessly, reaching critical levels. The whale is now a grotesque balloon, a parody of its former majestic self. It's primed for disaster, a ticking time bomb on the beach. This is the hidden world, the macabre reality inside every beached whale, a scene of intense biological activity. It's a race between decay, the relentless breakdown of organic matter, and containment, the whale's skin struggling to hold it all together. The stage is set, the players are in place for a spectacular failure, a dramatic release of pent-up energy. The process is relentless, a force of nature in its own right, and the outcome is inevitable, a matter of when, not if. The whale's anatomy, perfectly built for the crushing pressures of the deep ocean, becomes its undoing on land, a fatal design flaw in this new environment. The pressure keeps building, a silent, invisible force, searching for a way out, testing the limits of the whale's decaying structure. The countdown has begun, the final moments ticking away. Soon, something has to give. The breaking point is near. And when it does, when the pressure finally overcomes the containment, it's unforgettable, a visceral display of nature's power. The sheer scale of a whale, an animal that dwarfs even some of the largest land mammals, makes its decomposition a truly dramatic event, a spectacle of nature playing out on a grand scale. As the whale's massive body begins to break down, hundreds of cubic meters of gas, primarily methane, build up inside the carcass, a byproduct of the anaerobic bacteria feasting on the whale's tissues. This process slowly turning the carcass, once a symbol of life and power, into a high-pressure vessel, a ticking time bomb of organic matter and flammable gas. The whale visibly swells, expanding like a grotesque balloon as the internal pressure mounts, its skin stretched drum-tight, a testament to the immense forces at play within. Even the whale's massive fins jut at odd angles, distorted by the extreme pressure. Inside, the organs liquefy, breaking down into their constituent parts, transforming into a toxic flammable slurry, a potent mix of decaying flesh and volatile compounds. The blubber, that thick layer of fat that once insulated the whale in the frigid ocean depths, once a marvel of evolution, an adaptation that allowed these creatures to thrive in harsh environments, now traps heat and pressure, exacerbating the already intense decomposition process. This insulation supercharges bacterial activity, accelerating the production of methane and other gases. The skin and blubber, though incredibly strong and resilient, resist, but only up to a point, only for so long. Every hour that passes, more gas accumulates, more pressure builds, more tension strains the whale's tissues. Eventually, the relentless internal pressure inevitably overwhelms the whale's natural defenses. The weakest spot in the whale's armor may be a thin patch of skin weakened by the elements, or an old wound that never fully healed finally gives way under the strain. It's simple physics, a fundamental principle of the universe. When internal pressure exceeds, surpasses, and overwhelms what the skin, the container, can physically hold, the container inevitably fails, succumbs to the pressure. And when the container in question is a 40-ton whale, a behemoth of the sea, the result is anything but subtle. It's a dramatic and unforgettable display of nature's power. The rupture itself is sudden, without warning, violent, a forceful release of pent-up energy, and utterly spectacular to witness, a true explosion of organic matter. The whale's transformation, the journey it undergoes, from majestic giant of the ocean depths, a creature of immense beauty and grace, to grotesque balloon, a swollen and distorted parody of its former self, ultimately ends in a dramatic bang. This is the point, the critical juncture, of no return, the moment of inevitable release. The explosion is coming. It's just a matter of time. Stand back, keep a safe distance. Nature is about to unleash, put on a truly spectacular show, a display of raw power and decomposition. The explosion is a catastrophic release of pressurized gas, not a chemical blast, but a violent rupture. Imagine popping a balloon, but on a monstrous scale. When the skin breaks, compressed gases expand, launching blubber organs and a torrent of foul liquid. The sound is a deep, wet boom, the aftermath a rain of putrid debris. This is why authorities cordon off beached whales. It's not just gross, it's dangerous. Boyle's law explains it: compressed gas inside, sudden expansion outside, explosive force unleashed. The energy tears blubber apart, hurling it like cannonballs. Not every whale explodes. Conditions must be just right. Intact carcass, trapped gas, warm weather. Smaller marine mammals rarely explode. Their bodies dissipate heat and gas too quickly. But with a whale, the physics are perfect for disaster. The result is unforgettable, and it's all basic science in action. The most infamous whale explosion happened in Florence, Oregon, 1970. Authorities, desperate to remove a massive rotting whale, decided to use dynamite. The plan: blast the carcass into bite-sized pieces for seagulls to clean up. The result: chaos. Blubber rained down on the town, crushing cars and terrifying onlookers. The smell was indescribable, and the seagulls fled. Instead of solving the problem, the explosion left the beach littered with huge rotting chunks. The main carcass remained, stubborn and smelly. The Florence fiasco became a legendary cautionary tale. Today, using explosives is recognized as a terrible idea. Sometimes the solution is worse than the problem. In 2013, the Faroe Islands faced a dangerously bloated whale. Biologist Bjarni Mikkelsen tried to safely release the pressure with a careful incision. But the internal gas was too much. The whale ruptured explosively, showering organs and blood. The moment went viral, a visceral reminder of the power inside a decaying whale. Even careful attempts can go awry. The process is unpredictable and dangerous. For scientists, it's a messy but necessary step to study and preserve the skeleton. The lesson: treat every bloated whale with extreme caution. Nature doesn't always cooperate. Exploding whales are a land-based twist on a natural process. Most whales die at sea, sinking to become whale falls, feeding entire ecosystems for decades. On land, the anatomy that served them in the deep becomes a liability, trapping gases until they burst. The explosion opens the carcass, letting scavengers access the nutrient-rich interior. It's messy, but it recycles the whale into the coastal ecosystem. Even in death, the whale sustains life. The explosion is nature's way of breaking down a giant. Nothing goes to waste. Managing a beached whale is serious business. The first rule: keep people far away. Curiosity can be dangerous. If possible, authorities let nature take its course, monitoring from a safe distance. On public beaches, experts use long knives or tools to vent gas slowly, preventing explosions. Once safe, the whale is either towed out to sea or buried on the beach. Heavy machinery digs a deep pit, and the whale is covered with sand to contain the smell. Today's methods are safer, more scientific, and far less dramatic than dynamite. It's a dignified end for a giant. Why are we fascinated by exploding whales? It's the collision of majesty and mess, science and spectacle. These stories teach us about biology, physics, and the unexpected consequences of adaptation. They remind us that nature is full of surprises, sometimes beautiful, sometimes shocking. Each explosion is a lesson in respecting the power of the natural world. The tales of Florence and the Faroe Islands show science learning from mistakes. Even in death, a whale has one last, unforgettable story to tell. It's a story of pressure, release, and renewal, and it's best enjoyed from a very safe distance.